Coach, big games from the returners, but I want to talk about the bench, 52-13, outscoring them. Just can you talk about the impact that those guys on the bench made today?
Yeah, no, it's been a great boost for our team. I think all year, the bench at different moments has had to step up, and I thought that they gave us a really good lift today. Vasa kind of running the show, and we got to see some of his creativity and behind the back passes, and Musa coming off the bench and being ready when Taj picked up those two early fouls. I thought Josh Okogie was really good. So I think every night. You never know whose opportunity is going to be to step up and maybe have to play a bigger role, but all of those guys are very capable, and they're all so competitive too. So it was really good to see them all have some success tonight and help us.
Miles just continues to have success at all three levels and also play well on the defensive side, and especially in the second quarter there. His play really kind of helped secure this big lead that you guys were able to establish. What can you say about Miles' game tonight?
Yeah, with Brandon going down and not being in that starting group, I think that we've seen a couple things happen where Miles has kind of taken off a little bit more and had to step up his offensive impact and production, and he's capable of doing it. And it's been fun to watch. We've been able to use him as a pick and roll handler, pick and roll screener, off the ball. He's done a great job of just catching and shooting and getting us into some second side actions. I love at the end of the third quarter there, he kind of orchestrated what he wanted in a pick and roll scenario and got one of the weakest defenders up there to have to guard, and then he sees Williamson shifted, and he trusts the pass and throws it to Seth in the high quadrant, and we end up getting a good shot, a good look. So just proud of his growth all around, and like you said, he's playing both ends of the floor, which is really cool to see. The other part of our offense that I think is starting to expand too is Josh Green. Getting more comfortable, having to rebound, having to be the attack guy and initiate some of our flow offense and get some dribbles to the corner. And so anyway, just been really happy with those two guys and their growth.
Guys led wire to wire. Well, not led wire to wire, but for the most part, you were up the entire game. And usually you have these games where you start out slow or you got to kind of claw your way back to be able to kind of be in control for the most part for the entire game and kind of not have to kind of fight and claw. What was it like for you guys to be, I guess, in a rare situation tonight a little bit?
Yeah, it felt good. I think we've learned from some of our past experiences. Like you said, we've had to claw our way back into some games, and so I thought the guys, their communication was, keep your foot on the gas. Next 5 minutes, next 3 minutes, whatever it was. There was a lot of talk about just trying to keep our foot on the gas. And not have any let up, and I thought that we accomplished that on both ends of the floor. Our intensity level, our focus didn't waver.
Third quarter, 13-point lead. Melo comes out the game, and it looks like Josh and Seth turned defense into offense. Closed third, you guys were up 25. Can you talk about not just the bench points, but the timely bench points and when it happens to kind of handle those punches from the Pelicans and be able to punch back?
Yeah, I thought that was impressive too, especially because sometimes, Williamson, he's such a force downhill, and he was able to create some baskets where you felt like you're playing really good defense. You're staying between him and the basket, and all of a sudden he's so explosive and so strong. He was able to finish some buckets around the paint, but I thought that our guys, to your point, responded, and they trusted our running habits, everything that we do offensively. When we got in those moments where the ball was sticky, I think that we allowed their length, their athleticism, their physicality to bother us. But when we played with great pace, it was fun to watch. And even some of the seam passes to our bigs, and then those guys were making some really good paint reads as well.
Coach, your name prior to coming to Charlotte was all over the place, just as a rising coach, a rising star. Your name, James Borrego, some of the other guys. I'm just curious from your perspective, what was your point of entry to basketball? When did you fall in love with the game? Who were some of your influences, both players and coaches?
Oh, man, we could have a heck of a discussion on this. This is like for a glass of wine or something.
I'll take you up on that.
Okay, I would love that. It's funny, I probably started falling in love with the game even more when I got to high school. I played football and basketball for the longest time. I was a little bit more football guy, and then I got to high school, and something just I think my mindset wasn't quite football and getting hit and have to deliver the hit all the time. And so I started to transition to basketball and just completely fell in love with it, loved watching it on TV. And so a lot of different influences, I would say. But I just think that one coach in particular really helped me kind of think that show me that I could even play college basketball or professional basketball, which was my high school coach, Paul Foringer, when I was at Quince Orchard High School, where you're in love with the game, you're doing a ton of extra work, but you weren't really sure if you could go to the next level and do it. It was like a dream. And I thought that he just really helped mentor me and show me the way to get there and play Division I basketball, and then so on and so forth. And then there's been a ton of influences after that, which you and me can talk about over a glass of wine.
Sauvignon Blanc.
I was running back, I was tight end, I was defensive end, I was cornerback, second string quarterback. So like I played all kind of like the skill positions and stuff.
What was your point of entry or early recollections as a fan of basketball of the Charlotte Hornets organization?
Yeah, I would say, watching Grandmama or seeing the highlights of Grandmama's, getting the starter jackets that I thought were the coolest colors and set up. So that was probably my intro to Charlotte Hornets basketball. Muggsy Bogues, Alonzo Mourning, Jamal Mashburn. So there was a ton of guys. Del Curry, seeing some of his highlights and three-point contests and stuff like that. So it's a lot.
Seth, huge win for you guys today. Can you just talk about the performance of the bench, outscoring them 52-13? Just an absolutely dominant performance by you guys as reserves.
We did a good job, especially that first half coming in, and really everybody getting a piece of the pie. We're getting stops defensively, paying attention to the scouting report, and then offensively, the ball was popping around. Everybody had to be guarded, and that's just a fun brand of basketball to play. So this is a real professional win for us tonight, just playing the right way.
You mentioned that the ball was moving around. You guys had that run at the end of the first. 4 reserves all hit threes. You got 2 of them. Is that a situation where you guys are kind of fueling each other and just kind of seeing what you can kind of get the other guy to do out there?
Yeah, those lineups, we got to do it together. We got to, first of all, get stops and push the ball in transition, do it together, create shots for each other. Miles did a good job of kind of being on ball a lot, running the pick and roll, getting downhill. Even making good plays off the ball. So when you have the injuries we have some of the guys out, you got to play together, create shots for one another, and did a good job of that today.
Matt just touched on the first half flurry. I want to talk about the third quarter. It's a 13-point game. You guys, you and Josh specifically, help out to make that a 25-point lead. A lot of fast break transition plays where you're filling the lane, going to the three-point line, getting some threes. What were you guys seeing to be able to close the quarter so well?
Playing with pace. We were playing with pace, driving the ball, kicking. And like I said, we were getting stops, rebounding. We were small at times out there, so we had to help each other on the boards, and we did that. And when you're small on one end, out there, and they got a lot of guys who can drive. You're a little bit quicker. So we drove it, kicked the ball, moved it around, and we had a good game plan from the coaching staff tonight, and we paid attention to it.
5 wins in your last 8 games now. What do you like most about the brand of basketball you guys are just playing overall right now?
I think we're doing it together. Our defense has been really good, and then offensively, like you're saying, we're sharing the ball, knocking down shots. Still, the most important thing in this game is shot making. Still, you can create great shots, but you got to knock them down. And I think as a group, we did that tonight, and that really fed off our defense and being able to play in transition.
21 from 50 from 3 as a team. You went 4 for 6. Do you believe that you with your shot making, you feed off the rest of your team and how they're shooting?
I think I try to help my team as far as giving them that spacing offensively. I think throughout the league, guys know I step on the floor, you got to pay attention to me. So that allows guys like Vasa, Miles, whoever it is, to get downhill, get to the rim. I'm going to go out there, just be aggressive, play my game. And my teammates did a great job also finding me when I was open tonight, too.
You guys out-rebounded the Pelicans 27-13 in the first half. Could you talk about not only the defense, but just the rebounding by committee that allowed you guys to have the amount of possessions you did to outscore them?
Yeah, it's just that. We did it by committee. Everybody had to go in and help. Some guys were boxing out. Other guys were coming in and grabbing the rebounds. I think, like I said, nobody really had a big rebound tonight other than Musa, but I think everybody did a good job getting in there, had a few rebounds. So, like I said, we were obviously downsized a little bit with no Mark tonight, and you got a monster in there with Zion trying to keep him off the board. So it was a tough battle. We knew that coming in, and everybody stepped up to the challenge.
Seth, being a lifelong fan of this city, of this team, living in this city, how much more does it mean to you when you're able to go out there and earn a dominant win like you guys did tonight?
It means a lot. It means a lot. The fans have been still supporting us, showing up to the games, and for me, it's just trying to live in the moment. I mean, just dreamed of always putting that jersey on and going out there and playing for the Hornets. And I mean, you have so many games in the NBA, you kind of take it for granted at times, but I try not to. I try to, every time I put that jersey on, be appreciative and go out there and play hard.
Talked about playing defense on Zion, how the team had to do that by committee. Can you talk about Miles and Moose's job? Even though he finished with 28 and 11, they really made it hard for him and made him work for every bucket.
There was very few where he was just laying the ball up. He got some tough floaters over guys, made some tough layups, but I mean, honestly, 50% for Zion that's doing a good guys were stepping in there, putting their bodies on the line, and just trying to do whatever it takes to get a win.